All right, so here we're talking about finding the y-intercept from an equation. And the equation that we're talking about is the slope-intercept equation. Y equals mx plus b, where m stands for the slope and b stands for the y-intercept. That's why we're so interested in that y-intercept, because it makes up a part of this equation. The slope makes up another part, and then this x and y, basically the changing coordinates that you might see in a table or in a graph, where this measures the slope of that line, the b measures the y-intercept. Basically, that's measuring the starting point. This is saying where that's going from there, either up, down, how quickly, and then these are the changing coordinates from that graph and table. So the slope is always being multiplied by the x. That's the significant part there, that there's multiplication happening there, and either addition or subtraction happening with the y-intercept. So that's what we're looking for. When I'm finding the y-intercept, I'm looking for a constant that's standing by itself that's not being multiplied by the x. So here it's 7, here it's -1. The sign's allowed to change, but it's still just the number that's detached from this that's not being multiplied by that x. It's the constant number separated from the variable there. Here it's 18. We see it put in front there. It's not this -5 just because that's at the back end. That's still being multiplied by our x. This minus sign is attached to the 5. That has nothing to do with this positive 18 here. So here, the y-intercept would be 0, 7. Here it would be 0, -1. And here it would be 0, 18. All right, in this next one, we actually don't see a constant. We just see a number that's multiplied by x. Really, the only reason that would happen is if we had 0 attached to this, and we don't really need to write that. If this number is 10, 10 plus 0 would just be 10. So we actually just don't write that part of it, but it still exists. The y-intercept in this equation is 0, 0. Remember, the x-coordinate is always 0. This 0 that I see here for the y-intercept is actually this y-coordinate. That represents the y-coordinate from the y-intercept. Now this one's a little bit different. We actually have a 0 in place of the slope. So the reason I don't have an x here is kind of the same reason I don't have a y-intercept on that one. 0 times x, or a slope of 0, makes that x term completely cancel out. So my constant by itself means that that is my y-intercept. This is actually just a horizontal line, just going straight across at 8. So my y-intercept is that number. Here, the coordinates would be 0, 8.